Notice that the center and right autopilot command switches have illuminated to indicate arming with independent electrical and hydraulic sources. Also notice that the glide slope and localizer modes have armed, as indicated by the white text. Next, the aircraft captures the localizer and begins tracking inbound. Notice that the heading window has slewed to the selected inbound course, which the HSI heading bug also indicates. Localizer capture also causes the ADI to display an expanded localizer scale, which indicates approximately 1/3 of a dot localizer detention. Glide slope capture is next, followed by the descent through 1,500 feet radio altitude. At this point, the armed autopilot systems engage, and the ASAs enunciate Land 3. Also at 1,500 feet, automatic rudder control becomes active, accompanied by arming of the flare and rollout modes. At 500 feet, runway alignment begins to correct for any crosswind. At 200 feet, the ASAs are inhibited, except for no auto land and bus isolation occurs. Also at this point, the runway symbol begins rising. At 45 feet, flare capture occurs, and idle is armed. At 25 feet, the throttles move to idle. At 5 feet, rollout capture occurs and auto go-around is inhibited. After touchdown, the autopilots continue tracking the localizer with rudder and nose wheel steering. Consequently, you must disconnect the autopilots to obtain manual steering for taxi. Let's now look at an automatic go-around. Automatic go-around can be performed with one or more engaged autopilots, which control pitch and roll during the maneuver. Rudder control is also provided when multiple autopilots are engaged for the go-around. In addition, the autothrottles, if armed, will set go-around thrust. The go-around mode is automatically armed when the flaps are moved from the up position or at glide slope capture, whichever occurs first. Go-around arming is indicated on ICAS by green text. Automatic go-around are initiated with two go-around thumb switches located below the throttle levers. If the aircraft is above 5 feet radio altitude, pressing either go-around switch engages the autopilot and autothrottle in the go-around mode, which is enunciated on the ADIs. The go-around mode remains engaged even if the aircraft touches down during the missed approach. During the go-around, the autopilots command roll to maintain ground track. The autopilots also command pitch to maintain the existing airspeed or the selected speed, whichever is higher. When a climb rate of 2,000 feet per minute is reached, the autothrottle will maintain that rate with thrust control. If multiple autopilots are engaged during the go-around, the original autopilot remains in command at level off, and the additional autopilots disengage. Below 400 feet radio altitude, the go-around mode can only be terminated by disengaging the autopilots and turning off both flight directors. Above 400 feet, pitch and roll go-around modes can be disengaged separately by selecting another mode of that type. For example, selecting heading select disengages the go-around roll mode, while go-around pitch mode remains engaged. Disengaging a go-around mode also disengages the additional autopilots. An engine-out go-around can be performed automatically. However, in that situation you must manually set go-around thrust because the autothrottle will be disengaged. And finally, when multiple autopilots are used for an engine-out go-around, manual rudder control will be required when the Autoflight system reverts to single autopilot operation. The wind shear system is next. The wind shear system consists of three independent components: the pitch limit indicator, or PLI, warning, and guidance. The system is active at 1500 feet radio altitude and below. Let's first discuss the PLI. The PLI is displayed whenever the flaps are not in the up position. The PLI indicates the pitch attitude at which stick shaker occurs. It is a reference which provides relative angle of attack information only and should not be used for guidance. The purpose of wind shear warning is to provide timely recognition of a wind shear condition. Indications associated with wind shear warning are an aural alert, a wind shear light located on the center instrument panel, a red wind shear text appearing across the ADI, and a master warning. These indications are generated through the ground proximity warning system. Independent of wind shear warning is wind shear guidance. If wind shear is detected during approach, selecting Go Around removes the approach mode and engages Go Around. The flight director pitch bar then provides guidance for the optimum pitch attitude. If wind shear is detected during takeoff, selecting Go Around removes any derated power selections and engages Go Around. Again, the flight director pitch bar will provide recovery guidance. When wind shear conditions are no longer present, the warning enunciations extinguish and the aural alert is silenced. If Go Around is selected with the flight directors off, the pitch and roll bars automatically appear. Now try some questions. Now let's look at Autoflight differences between the 757 and the 767-200, -300, and extended range. 767 aircraft using General Electric power plants use N1 for reference thrust. At 45 feet radio altitude during an auto-land approach, the throttles move to idle. At 15 feet radio altitude during an auto-land approach, the throttles move to idle.